Just because they have savings doesn't mean it's enough, right? I mean, some people say they have savings and, they're seniors and they've got $1,000 in the bank. That ain't covering a burial, right? So if you ever hear this whole kind of savings, I got savings. Okay, so if you die tomorrow, you have to clarify. So do you have enough savings to pay for a funeral? Okay, so you do. Well, have you considered what if something bad happens and you got to spend all this money? What would you do then? So we have to, on some levels, it depends on kind of their answer. Now, she took it well enough that she was already convinced she didn't have enough. So we didn't have to convince her. I might reinforce that and say, hey, you're smart to think about that, right? Because, hey, look, life happens. Sometimes we need to dip into our savings when we least expect it. That's why this insurance stuff is good, because it's there no matter what happens. It makes sense, right? So I would try to reinforce that belief she has, that she said. But sometimes we get people to say, well, I have savings, so, I'd probably be okay. Well, we need to cause and we need to plant a seed of doubt that the savings, if they, in another case where they think they have enough, we need to say things like, hey, that's a good point you brought up savings, because, hey, look, you might have enough today, but what happens tomorrow, right? What if you need to jump into the money? What if something comes up that you don't expect, right? And you got to reduce that. What if you go in a nursing home and you got to spend all that money down? You know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm bringing this up is some people say savings is enough, but they don't think about every little thing that could happen. And you know how life is. Man plans, God laughs. You ever heard of that one? Yeah. So this is why insurance is, it's good that you're thinking about this. It's very smart. So I'll start to stroke them. You're smart for thinking about this. This is really intelligent, because you know as well as I do, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. But we know there's going to be a burial one day. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you got to be prepared. So we're trying to close their mind to this objection later. This is my tactic I'm trying to do at this point. I need to shut down the savings. I need to show them the folly of belief that money, because it's there today, will be there tomorrow. I need to give them examples, nursing homes, kids' story about the client with meth head daughter that had to go to, drug rehab twice and spending all that money. And I got to get them to agree that, and that's the kind of conclusion. I got to get them to agree that, hey, look, it's great that you got money today, but that tomorrow, who knows what's coming, right? And so why this kind of insurance stuff is good. Makes sense, doesn't it? I need to get them to agree to that, because otherwise, if I don't handle this where they seemingly are okay with what they have in savings now, guess what? It's going to be a problem later. That makes sense, guys? So I'd rather you handle this now, get some buy-in now, get their belief system establishing that it makes sense to have life insurance despite having savings, than deal with it later. Does that make sense?